Good morning, Florida lacrosse fans. April Fool's Day, but I'm going to take it easy on that and not talk too much about the full cancellation of the FHSAA season. But suffice to say, yes, have a great April Fool's Day. Have your fun with your friends, your neighbors. And morning coffee, Lee Roggenberg, your host. Interesting day around the state last night. Before we get to some of the bigger results, let's go through some of the others. Columbus, 13-12 over West Broward. Carrollwood Day with a 7-6 win over Pasco. Cocoa Beach, 13-9 over Merritt Island. Freedom, 10-3 over East River. Winter Haven, 13-5 over Lake Wales. Cypress Bay, 13-12 over South Plantation. All Saints Academy, 15-14 over Lake Mineola. Pensacola Catholic with a 9-8 win over West Florida, game we briefly mentioned yesterday. And Forest continuing their run with a 14-6 win over Buchholz. A couple of scores that I didn't see on Max Preps: the Berkeley Prep Tampa Catholic game and Haggerty and Trinity Prep. Easy winners last night included Pompano Beach, Mitchell, Martin County, Boone, Canterbury, Newsom, Gulf Coast, Windermere, Creekside, and the game that I attended last night where St. John Paul was all over Boca Raton. That game, which usually doesn't get written up when it's a blowout, will have some today because I attended the game as more of a fan. I try to do that once a year. The previous one was suspended, unfortunately. So, this was a game where I'm going to write up as if I were a fan at the game instead of a reporter covering it. Now, a couple of results. One, a big eye-opener. One, just a fabulous game. First of all, Plant with a 9-8 win over Jesuit. Jesuit up 5-3 at the half. Plant able to come back for the win in the second half. Plant ranked number 3 in 2A. Jesuit number 4 in 1A. The reports I received was fantastic game, big crowd, great atmosphere. Truly wish I could have been there. Just see how these teams progress through the playoffs, since obviously they're not going to be meeting each other in a district or a playoff game. Good luck to both going forward. And then in maybe the most amazing result of the night, number 10 in 1A, Maclay traveled to Oak Hall, who's number 3 in 1A, and Oak Hall just beat them 14-0. I did reach out a little bit to find out, and it certainly doesn't seem to be that it was a matter of absentees or anything like that. Oak Hall just played a remarkable game, took advantage of everything that Maclay did, and certainly showed that number 3 ranking in 1A has been earned. And combined with the fact that they also have a 1-goal win over Creekside already, and I believe, as I said yesterday, that Ponte Vedra comes to town on the last game of the year. Certainly look forward to see how that one plays out too. But congrats to Coach Montes and Oak Hall on a terrific performance yesterday. On tonight's schedule, on the boys' side, All Saints is hosting Bartow. Winter Park will be hosting Lake Brantley, a good matchup in the Orlando area. Up in the Panhandle, 9-1 Niceville will be hosting 7-1 Gulf Breeze. A great chance for Niceville to make their mark, to show that record is legit. We have Calvary Christian in Fort Lauderdale hosting Stoneman. Key game for district seedings in that one. Episcopal, undefeated Episcopal, is hosting Ponte Vedra. Again, one of those games where, let's see, to me, the margin and how the game plays out is pretty important in this one. See just how far Episcopal has come. Obviously, saw them against Providence on Saturday, and one of those great opportunities for a school like Episcopal to make a mark. Montverde is hosting Berkeley Prep. Oxbridge will be hosting American Heritage Plantation. Jupiter is hosting Dwyer. And then we have one of the huge games that happens every year in my neck of the woods, which I'll be at tonight. St. Andrews, number 1 in 1A, hosting Benjamin, number 2 in 1A. Certainly have attended most of these. I think the only one I might have missed a couple of years back was when I was on a cruise. This is one of the interesting things about this. Even though the games have been close over the years, at least in the varsity status, St. Andrews has won every game and found a way to pull them out closely. I remember even back probably about 2014, a 1-goal win, maybe 15, 1-goal win down in Boca. So a terrific game, a game that Wells and I broadcast online. I think that might have been the 2015 game. When these two teams get together, the intensity is there. First time I saw them was at the first Orange Bowl Classic. That was a 4-4 game at halftime, and then St. Andrews put on one of the great quarters I've ever seen in high school lacrosse down here to pull away to that one. And Benjamin has certainly had big wins this year. And could this finally be the year that Benjamin takes down St. Andrews? Certainly expect to have a pretty decent crowd out there. Limitations are in effect a little bit on the St. Andrews side. But if you're looking for a game, number 1 versus number 2 doesn't get any better than that. And I certainly expect to see a heck of a game tonight. On the girls' top 15 last night, we had American Heritage, Delray, Stoneman, and Lake Brantley amongst ranked teams that were in action. All 3 of them won easy games. Tonight, we've got Gulf Breeze traveling to South Walton. We've got Haggerty hosting Episcopal, and Berkeley Prep is hosting Freedom. Those are the games on the top 15 side. Last night on the college side, full slate of games in the Sunshine State Conference as they're trying to make up a couple of postponed games already. On the men's side, Florida Tech behind Reed Chaconis' 4 goals and 1 assist with the 15-9 win over Rollins. Xander Cosenza with 3 goals to lead Lynn to the 15-8 win over Palm Beach Atlantic. Ben French, 5 goals, 1 assist as Tampa took down Florida Southern 22-7. On the girls' side, Anna Lescaris with 5 goals and Kiki Sinati with 3 goals and 6 assists as Palm Beach Atlantic went out and won a 17-14 win over Lynn on the women's side. Also on the women, Carolyn Gastongois, sorry if I butchered that one. 3 goals in the overtime win for Rollins, 7-6 over Florida Tech. And number 5, Florida Southern with the 13-9 win over number 8, Tampa, behind Haley Dalio's 5 goals and Lizzie Lynch's 4 goals and 1 assist. We had an NAIA game last night. Life of Georgia, the 23-9 win over Ave Maria, despite Emma Davis's 4 goals for Ave Maria. Now, I mentioned yesterday about Academy of the Holy Names. Didn't know anything about them. Didn't know the school even existed, to be honest. So I took a quick look at Wikipedia and some of Max Preps, the roster, coach's name, but unfortunately the statistics were not there for Academy, so I can't really comment on those, but they're in Class 1A, District 9, along with Berkeley Prep and Tampa Catholic. Interestingly enough, according to Wikipedia, they were founded in 1881 And according to Wiki, that makes them the second oldest high school in the state that's still in existence. And that means they're on their 140th season year right now. They did finish their schedule last night with the 25-8 win over Osceola. They finished the season at 10-2 the regular season. Their two losses were by 1 goal at home to Plant, and then they lost. Berkeley Prep handled them pretty comfortably on March 2nd. But since then, they've got 7 wins in a row, including a win over St. Stephen's Episcopal, who's also having a fine season. Cardinal Mooney 16-5 win on that too. Their head coach is Ariana Lauder. Looks like she's been there for a while. They have a Division I recruit and Sophia Pine, who's committed to Holy Cross. And when I always look to check to see famous alumni from the high schools. And Pete Alonso, the Major League Baseball Rookie of the Year in the near past, is a graduate of there. Colleen Moore, a silent movie star, which would probably be back in like the 20s or so. And she's a grad. And Kaylee McEnany, who was the press secretary for Donald Trump recently, also a graduate of there. I wish I could have kind of done a deeper dive on the statistics, but just wanted to give a shout out to a school that I've never mentioned before in an article or anything. And good luck in your district. And if you get through the playoffs, we'll go back and take a little deeper look at the team. I think that as we're kind of getting down to the season, and I really do encourage all of you to try to get out to a game. Everyone who has participated, including the parents. Obviously, the parents are a major part of this, besides the players, the coaches, the refs, administrators. We keep having to deal with COVID shutdowns, even though the numbers statewide have gone down. Depending on where you are in the state, seems to make a bit of a difference in how the schools have been handled. One coach mentioned to me that they were shut down for 2 weeks because a parent tested positive. None of the players, a parent. Now, I don't know how it is in other parts of the state. I do know down here we have had most of the big name programs have a COVID issue at one point or another and have to suspend play. And it does bring up an interesting point, which, again, I'm trying to get in touch with the FHSAA about this, and that is what happens, say, if a positive test is next week. Is that an automatic suspension? Is it a county-by-county thing? Because that's also possible that certain counties are just more restrictive on this than others are. It will certainly make predictions and possibly game results very difficult to both predict and to review. This is just one of those years where, if those remember the 30 for 30 on the North Carolina State Basketball National Championship, survive and advance is certainly in play in this state this year. Now, again, another reminder, if you have not subscribed to the station, to this YouTube channel, trust me, my music videos are going to get worse and worse. You only have 3 days to break the barrier of 1,000, or you're going to be getting Rick D's Disco Duck this week in the poll article. And trust me, I've got more coming if necessary, just to make the point. So that's not an April Fool's joke. Rick D's is ready to go. And if you haven't heard Disco Duck, trust me, you want to avoid it. So this is Lee Roggenberg. Have a happy April Fool's Day. Get out and have some fun. Go get to a game. Take it easy on the refs. Have a great day.